We're going to call this hearing of the Small and Minority Business Committee to order. We are here to discuss the creation of a special improvement district. Before we get started, I want to start with several thank yous, and first of which is certainly Mr. David Levy with the Epstein Chapel. Thank you for opening your home to us. We certainly appreciate you being here and the work that you've done with Mr. Tauber along Main Street. Certainly want to recognize a few of my friends, Judge Cindy Ebner, who came out. Thank you so much for coming. And Mayor Kessler, who is here. Thank you so much. And I think that just shows how we are all linked together and what this means for this potential special improvement district means for our entire community. So thank you all for being here. Tonight we will hear from Mark Lundeen, the administrator in the Department of Economic Development. He'll provide us an overview of special improvement districts in Columbus, what a special improvement district is, and where else they can be found throughout our city. Then we'll hear from Mr. Herb Taliber about the process of creating the East Main SID, what the money would go towards, and what this would mean for this neighborhood. Finally, we will open up for public comment. So if you would like to speak in favor, against, or just ask a question, we would ask for you to please fill out a blue speaker slip, and we will have a member of my staff that will have them readily available for you to speak. I am here as a member of City Council, as chair of this committee, to listen. This is just for me to learn, to see, to understand the potential effects this will have on this community. I have had the great honor and opportunity to watch Mr. Tauber's work over the last 2 years. I was telling someone that it was very early on, 2.5 years ago when I came onto council. Mr. Tauber was one of the first people that I met with who came to me with his work and doing and putting the city together. So it's been really neat to get to this point when the development department reached out and said that we were here, that we had submitted the petitions, made me really excited. And so I'm thrilled. I thank all of you for being here. Again, your participation, you showing up today shows is a good first showing of what this could mean for this community. So thank you. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Mark Lundeen.
Thanks, council member, and the community. I'm very excited to be here as well, and appreciate all the support that this neighborhood has shown towards this effort. I just want to walk you through really quickly some facts about SIDS in the city of Columbus, and answer any questions I can after the speakers are done, but just kind of give you a background of where we are and what this tool can mean for the neighborhood. So the Special Improvement District is created through state law and enables property owners to make an independent decision to support an increase in their own real estate taxes to provide enhanced services to the community that are above and beyond any of the core city services that are being provided currently. The City of Columbus is one of the leaders in the state with special improvement districts. We have 5 current special improvement districts. 2 are kind of under petition right now to be added. So that would get you a grand total of 7 at the end of this year. And the special improvement districts vary drastically in the city. It's really determined by the businesses in the area. We focus on core commercial corridors and business districts that have chosen independently to levy these assessments, and they are the ones that guide the investments that are made in the area. So I just want to give you a couple examples of it. The current 5 special improvement districts we have are the Morris Road SID, which is really from Interstate 71 running all the way to Cleveland Avenue along Morris Road. It's about 12 years old, and they formed to really do cleanliness activities on a new public improvement that the city had installed 12 years ago. And so you'll see grass cuttings, flowers. They do banners in the right-of-way celebrating different seasons of the year. and also provide a maintenance fund for anything that would get clipped or damaged by an automobile or a pedestrian. So that's the Morse Road SID. University District SID is our newest SID that was enabled in 2015. They also are focused on cleanliness and safety. They're probably more skewed towards the safety side. They will have 18-hour, 7-day-a-week shifts of security personnel that are patrolling the University District, generally the High Street area in the University District, and have coordinated with property owners on some litter cleanups, but mostly focused on working with campus police, Columbus Police on safety for students in the area. The Short North SID is also more of a clean and safe operation where really they're beautifying the High Street streetscape. They patrol in a more limited fashion than the University District. They have more limited hours, but they also are ensuring the safety of residents and visitors to the area. And then downtown Columbus was the original two SIDs, started in downtown Columbus in 2000. The Capitol Crossroads SID, which is kind of the western side of downtown, so that's 4th Street over to the river, basically, all the properties there. And they were generated out of concern of, again, cleanliness and safety. They've come to actually provide additional services, such as homeless outreach services to various populations of homeless persons downtown. They do some special events that I think we all participate in, whether it's along the river or Columbus Commons. They're putting on several special events over the course of the year, and service as a communication organization for downtown. An example recently from the downtown SIDS is there was a bank robbery that was in occurrence at the Chase Tower, and the network of security connections that the downtown SID has was able to pass along the information rapidly such that the suspect was apprehended several blocks from the bank, moments after he robbed it. And so that's the kind of connection that downtown SID is pursuing, and the value that a lot of the property owners are seeing there. So again, we started these in 2000, added them over time. Every one of them, with the exception of the University District SID, because it's brand new, has renewed their assessment. So the property owners have agreed a second time to say, hey, we see value in this. We like the services that are being provided, and so we want to renew this assessment. And yeah, they vary drastically in the amount of money that they generate on a yearly basis. Our department is really responsible with making sure we meet the legal requirements under the Ohio Revised Code, and then we're the ones that just transmit the money from the county directly to the Special Improvement District, and then the board of the Special Improvement District is deciding how the list of services that are provided are going to be implemented. So we've seen great success with these in neighborhoods. It's been a tool that really is kind of the top of our pyramid as far as enhancing neighborhood commercial corridors. And we're excited to hear about this one. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. When I think it was the creation of the university area where Mr. Talbert came out, and we were talking about who should go after a SID. What corridors are good corridors? What are the makeup of a good corridor that should consider a SID as a potential option for economic growth, potentially, especially for businesses and small businesses?
Yeah. I mean, the first and foremost from the city's perspective is a business corridor. And it needs to be driven by the businesses that are in the area that have determined that there's an additional need that is not being met. And again, it can be, a maintenance need where the Morse Road corridor has said, hey, we want a higher level of maintenance than the city is currently providing, and we want to be able to do seasonal flowers or banners, those types of things. And it can also be a human need. The university district, again, was really concerned about security in the area, and so that was what drove their special improvement district. But I think in the end, the benefit to the business is what we focus on, and being able to meet the need of a business that is collective, that is shared amongst their neighbors, where they are able to coalesce around a concept of saying, we want to see an additional service that's being provided to our corridor in the city.
Well, thank you again for the support and the work that you do with our SIDS. I have the opportunity to work with a lot of the folks who have worked to bring them online, and have certainly seen the impact of the downtown SID, but also the university and a couple of our other ones. Why do you think that Columbus is the leader in SIDS in the state? Are we encouraging this for corridors, or is there something unique to Columbus that we are leading the pack for?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about that, and I attribute it to the unique level of collaboration that our city enjoys. And, as the economic development administrator, I'm out recruiting businesses to come to the city every single day. And you tell them, especially when they're from out of town, you tell them, you won't believe it when you get here, but everyone truly works together. And then they always say, well, we hear that from everyone, and, it can't be true here. And then they get here, and the three businesses that they perceive to be their main competitors in the region will call them and say, how can I help you? And that's just the way Columbus is. And it's such a blessing on a daily basis for us and what we do. And I think generally our community benefits from that. And that comes from political leadership. I think it comes from business leadership. But the idea of, this mechanism is really a partnership. That's what is happening here, is the business community and government are coming together and saying, we want to partner on something additional to our city. And that spirit of collaboration is just inherent in the DNA of Columbus. And again, I think it's something that we're really fortunate to have.
Thank you. Well, now let's hear from Mr. Tolliver about the specifics of the Main Street SID and what this will mean for this neighborhood.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to stand. I can see you all better that way.
If you would use the mic, though. Sorry.
Oh, will it reach me?
Oh, you can use this
You can use that one if you like.
Use that one? Okay.
If you like.
Well, I like to have, maybe I better sit. It's going to be better. Before I start, actually, I want to introduce Lindsay Cullums, who has been our intern working on this project. And Lindsay, just stand up so I can see you. It wouldn't have happened without Lindsay's help. And just to indicate her dedication to this, maybe I shouldn't tell Lindsay, but she arrived sometime last night from a week in Taiwan on a class project. So 12 hours difference. I don't know if she can stay awake, but at any rate, she's here. Thought that you all should meet her and that she should meet all of you. So the business district that we're talking about here on Main Street is approximately 1 mile. It's primarily small businesses and quite a variety of businesses. There's many of them are women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, immigrant-owned businesses. The very kind of businesses that we want more of in Columbus. They're businesses that are owned by African Americans, by Hispanics, by Asians. So it is a very diverse area. Approximately 65 property owners in the area, which means that was a lot of people for us to contact. And many of those owners are out of town. And I estimate 85 to 90 different businesses in the area. Major types of businesses is medical of various sorts, a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of auto-related businesses, beauty-related businesses. So that's just a few of the categories of types of businesses that there are. The efforts to improve Main Street have been going on for a long time. When we first moved into Eastmore, which was in 2003, I can remember there was the city put on what they called a charrette. Now that wasn't one of the name of one of the ladies on the street. That was a process of consulting neighbors and so on. But not much came of that. But the community, the neighborhood organizations and all began to work to clean up, get rid of Motel 1 in cooperation with so many of the business community. And when Motel 1 went down, that was, I think, was a real turning point in the situation on Main Street, because with the crime and terrible conditions that motel attracted, that was a real discourager for any kind of investment in the area. So about that time, I turned my attention to Main Street. I had been president of Eastmore Civic Association for a couple of terms, and when I finished that, I wanted to do something on Main Street. So some of us, other people in Eastmore Civic Association and other neighborhood groups, we talked about what could we do, so we had a meeting with Mayor Kessler, and I thought, well, you know, why should we be bothering Mayor Kessler about this? But somebody in the group said, well, let's meet with Mayor Kessler. So Mayor Kessler, who is here tonight, said, you know, why don't you look into having a SID? And so we looked into having a SID, and so I have to give him credit really for working on the idea of the SID. So I appreciate that. Thanks, Ben. So we explored the concept and talked to Cleve Ricksecker, who runs the downtown SIDs, and he's one of the reasons, I think, why we have so many SIDs in Columbus, because he is so helpful, and he gave us a lot of suggestions. We had some ideas. He said, no, that's not the way to do it. You do it this way. And so he helped us a lot in getting going. He made contact for us with the Columbus Foundation, and he was just helpful all the way along. We did a survey of property owners, found out what their concerns were, when we found that, you know, security was a major concern of property owners. And, well, a SID can help with that. That's one of the things that SID can do. So it seemed like it was something that would fit together. So we did get a grant from the Columbus Foundation, and then the Eastmore Civic Association kicked in a very sizable amount, which so the two sources of funds together made it possible for us to hire Lindsay as an intern to help us with doing some of the hard work that this involved of getting this going. We had property owners sign on to kind of an informal, unofficial commitment, first of all, to see if we could get it done. And we got enough of those that we decided, yes, we can go ahead with it. So in June of, and actually I should back up. I don't know how, I'm not sure what year it was that when we first started talking about this. It must have been in 2014. In June of last year, we sent out the official petitions to all the property owners. So we started the official process, and by the end of, took us from then until the end of November to achieve the amount that we needed. So we did get, at the end of November, we got the 63%, got property owners controlling 63% of the front footage on Main Street had signed up. By that I mean all the frontage, all the public streets around a property, alleys and side streets, front and Main Street. So that was quite a lot of calculation to be sure we had all this front footage correct. At any rate, we achieved that 63%, and that was a very, very big day, as you can imagine. We turned all those petitions in to the county auditor in mid-December. It was our Christmas present to him, and unfortunately, he didn't. It was his New Year's present to us when the county auditor approved the front footage and approved all our calculations of the front footage and approved the signatures on the petitions. So that was where we stand. So then the next step now is approval by City Council. What will the CID do? We have been having some meetings of property owners, and the property owners will form a corporation to manage the money. The special assessment of 7.5% on the property taxes will raise about $54,000, $55,000, something like that. We do hope for some additional funds to help to supplement that. What we will do with what the property owners will do with that money is that they will hire a company that has bicycle patrols that well-trained, well-equipped people who will have direct radio contact with the police department, unarmed, so that they can act as a deterrent for some of the petty crime that happens. They go in two-person teams. Just want to mention some of the investments that have taken place on this street. It's not like the CID is the only thing going, because in order to really improve Main Street, we have to have other things that need to be done too, and some of those things have been done or will be done. The street was repaved a couple years ago, which was a critical step. The city has planted some more trees, and there are some more trees coming. The city has committed itself to new street lights. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to happen. It's been promised for a couple years now, but we're counting on that. Also, some new police cameras. Well, at least one police camera at one of the worst intersections along the street, and possibly two police cameras. So those will also be deterrents. So that's some of the public investment. There's been a lot of private investment. Lev's Pawn Shop has purchased several buildings that had very notorious bars in them, and those have been closed down, and those will be repurposed for something else. Muhammad, who owns a couple of blocks on the street, has converted a bar into a daycare center. That's it's done a beautiful job with it. Really is a nice thing. Jim Lee, who is an attorney, has created has remodeled a very decrepit house on the street into a really fine law offices. J.A. Baker, who does high-end estate sales, is revamping a little shopping center that was always half vacant. And then coming is a Family Dollar store where the Motel 1 was, which will be a huge help. And then we have rumors that there's going to be a Tim Hortons on the street also. So I want to say thanks to a lot of people that have helped. There's the SID committee that has worked with me of neighborhood residents worked with me to guide me and to guide Lindsay on that. I want to thank my wife, Laurel, who's put up with some of my some sleepless nights maybe, and some what do you think of this idea? And so I want to thank her. I want to thank the city of Columbus. Lee Hennick has been a huge help to us as we go along. And of course, Cleve Ricksecker at with the downtown SIDS. I want to thank property owners that have been so cooperative and have been so enthusiastic, and so really couldn't stop because they were so committed to this thing. I want to thank Mayor Kessler for his support and his backing to it. I may have forgot some other categories of people that have been helpful. Other city staff that I see here that have worked with us. There's just been so much good support, and I really appreciate all of that.
Thank you, Mr. Chaliber, again for the work that you put into getting us to this point. You triggered a couple of, thank you. And again, if you're interested in speaking on this SID, please fill out a speaker slip. There are a few folks up front too, Zach. One you mentioned was the Motel 1 project, and I don't think you can be over here without really just thinking back on the work that was done, or the blight that the former Motel 1 site created along Main Street, but also the work of so many folks to get rid of that. I want to shout out my colleague who was then Assistant City Attorney, Jiza Page, Councilmember Jiza Page, who led that effort. And we're greatly appreciative of that. But also, I think you're right too about why we have so many SIDS. I think Mr. Cleve Ricksecker, I call him the father of the SIDS here in Columbus, and anyone that is seriously interested in using this as a tool for a corridor, I would certainly encourage you to speak to him. And so thinking about how the Main Street SID will be used, it sounds like it will be about, first and foremost, community safety, and safety along the corridor. Secondly, around beautification. And then for the third outcome, which is continued business development. Is that correct?
Yeah, in our plan of services, there's, and I didn't mention the litter pickup. That's another factor besides the safety of the litter pickup. But I think, and that's the things that the money will be spent for. But then, as we develop, I'm sure that there will be more business development will take place. It will be a spin-off benefit of it. We certainly expect that.
Well, thank you. At this time, we will hear public comment. We ask folks to limit their remarks, their comments to 3 minutes. And we ask that you fill out a speaker slip. This is a public record. This entire hearing is a public record, so we want to make sure that it's documented. And so we ask for you to speak into the microphone so that it can be captured into CTV for that record. So with that, I would ask Mr. Corey Steinmetz to come forward and to let us know any organization that you may represent.
I'm Corey. I am a member of the Southeast Moore Block Watch, and thank you for having the hearing today. Really appreciate it. But I'll be brief, but I wanted to say that I can speak for myself and many of my neighbors, I believe, that we're very excited for the implementation of the SID, and we'll be very supportive going forward if we can, and would love to help. And thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Dr. Michael Shannon.
Again, I'm Dr. Mike Shannon. I've lived in the Block Watch area of the Peacekeepers, which is now Mayfair Peacekeepers Association, for about 54 years. I've been a business owner for 27 years. I own Eastside Chiropractic Center right here at Hampton and East Main Street. I've been an active Block Watch captain for about 15 years. With the Civic Association, the Block Watch, with Peacekeepers, I guess at times I've been the main representative of the East Main Street Business Association when it didn't have any other active members, I guess. So I was kind of the defunct, been very active in trying to promote from within investing from being involved in the community from that. And it might come to a surprise that historically I have not been a proponent of the SIDS, namely because I was trying to give my time and get all the other business owners, when it fell on deaf's ear, to try to become involved for free rather than the 6% or 7.5% added tax. They mentioned, well, it'll just get, from a business owner, you don't have to pay anything. It's the property owner that will have to pay for it. And I think that's naive to think that that cost will not get passed on to the business owners. Now, on the other hand, I have been a very strong proponent for the safety and trying to get things turned around actively, and that's where we're at now. Maybe it's a good thing. Many years, Officer Gary Scott can tell you, I would go to businesses individually and try to ask them or beg them to come to our Block Watch and Civic Association meetings. Very rarely would we do. And quite frankly, I am shocked that they were able to get these 60% or more. So maybe the message is the business owners, or not even necessarily the business owners, but property owners, would rather pay for it to be done for you rather than be involved. We still need to be involved. We are the eyes and ears of the city. I have several concerns with, they said that the patrols will be well equipped, but yet unarmed. A lot of people that are out there will tell you that it's very unsafe out there at times and at places, and that is of a concern too. When the police officers sometimes are being shot at Napoleon, that might, for the safety of the concern of the people initially. So I welcome, and if that's going to go on, I welcome us to do anything we can to turn this around, and I'm the first to embrace it wholeheartedly if the majority is there. But we need to be active as well with the eyes and ears and give our time, keep our own places clean, things like that. So I thank the councilman and all the city for everything they did, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Shannon. I was going to maybe ask some questions, and maybe if you have a follow-up. One, I think that you have a good point about continued participation, that a SID is not the end-all, be-all, that there's still work that will have to be done to facilitate engagement by local business owners. I wanted to get your question answered, though. I thought that was a fair point you brought up about the safety
Yes.
organization. Mr. Talbot, has that been contracted out yet, or where are we at in that process? How would that work?
Yeah, that won't be contracted out until after the SID is, the corporation is created, but the property owners will be deciding on a company that they would hire to do this. There's Community Crime Patrol, which is a nonprofit company that trains the patrollers, equips them. They do this in a number of different parts of the city, and so they have experience with it. So that's one organization that will certainly be considered, and if, there's certain times a day when they may decide they don't want to come out here. That's possible. They know what they can do. They know what their limitations are, and I don't think they're going to risk the safety of their people. So,
Thank you, Mr. Talbot. Is safety the concern that you see as a
mainly in the area.
Okay.
A lot of the drug activity and they've worked on it, and but I've heard some people say, well, if you get like the armed off-duty police officers, but the amount that they charge per hour, like for safety for like bingo or something. But I've seen them in action up like on campus, and a lot of times they have the radios, and they said initially that they have priority with the police if they call things in, but initially until they get it turned around and cleaned up, it might be a safety issue for them. And so as long as it's I don't know if you hire them in the safety and they're bonded or whatever, that's the issue of if something happens to them, if you form the business association and you hire them, is there any liability from that? But it is kind of a danger, and it's the patrol officers are shorthanded and they're only covering a large area. They can't clean up like the crime. I think a lot of it's drugs in the different areas and the like. The Motel 1 was there we thank everyone that helped. I mean, it was like a 12 to 15 year process. On having to only close them down for a year, and we had the city health department that kept them closed an additional 6 months for us. It takes a lot of effort, and we thank everyone coming, but it falls on deaf ears. There's usually only a handful of people. It's like preaching to the choir, and we usually talk to all the block watch captains, and there's a handful of people that come regularly and are vested in it. So of that 63% or whatever, God bless them if they're going to get involved now, or at least donate their money, because it has not been present in the last 15 years that I've seen. So
it's not just their money; it's all property owners
in the entire area, or just on East Main Street.
On East Main Street, all the property owners on East Main Street
Right.
will be paying, if this passes, will be paying the 7.5% special assessment.
Right, and I see that, and like I said, my landlord is basically an absentee landlord. He lives in Virginia, and now with the new leases, half the places are open, and they're doing like a new what they call triple net, where he's basically passing that on to any of the new tenants coming in, where they have to pay for all the property taxes and stuff. So, I live in the area too. So if I was a resident, I'm like, great, have the business owners paying for all this. But from the business owner standpoint, it's basically doing it. The one argument could be, initially I say, I'm paying for it already. You know, I pay taxes indirectly from my rent.
I asked you to come back up, but just to respect everyone's time, I definitely hear your point.
Okay.
I think
Well, those are all the main points that anyone's probably going to talk about. So thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And I appreciate the work that it sounds like you've been doing for a long time along the corridor. Next, we have Mayor Ben Kessler.
Thank you. First off, I want to apologize if I came up with the idea of assessing you guys additionally. So that was me. But I want to recognize, because I don't think anyone's done this yet, but Mr. Herb Taliber has been paid. You're getting paid a lot to do this, right, Herb? This is an act of love, and his tenacity in going for this idea of the SID, and actually it just started in how can we improve this business district in Eastmore. His tenaciousness and his clear heart for the area is really to be commended, and I think we all owe him a round of applause. So I have maybe a somewhat unique situation in that I used to work downtown before I now work at Bexley City Hall, in an office building at Town and Fourth, right next to the Greyhound station. And I watched that area declining, and then I watched the creation of the Capitol Crossroads SID and the impact that had on that in the downtown area. And it was really amazing. It didn't happen overnight, but it happened over time. The same type of really patrols that we're talking about here on Main Street, where they're not packing heat, but they have a phone, and they have great tools and they have eyes and ears. And having that eyes and ears on the ground, picking up trash, popping in and saying hi to businesses, you get to know the cast of characters that is rotating around the street, will make a tremendous difference on Main Street, not just for Eastmore, but also for the city of Bexley, which is why I'm here, because I'm selfish, right? I mean, I want our corridor to be strong for all of us. And in the city, we really believe that reaching out to adjacent neighborhoods around Bexley, helping them improve is going to be an improvement also to the city of Bexley. So I've talked to Herb about this. I want this to be on public record. I've talked to city council about it in Bexley as well, which is, I think, the type of funding that's going to be raised by this SID doesn't quite cover two people. Is that right? Almost does, full-time?
It doesn't for full-time.
For full-time. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to help contribute financially from the city of Bexley to keep two people full-time, 40 hours a week roughly per person, and also have a little bit of that feed into a little bit of Bexley, not very far into Bexley, but enough that there's some continuity along that way. So we're going to try to financially contribute, and I don't deserve applause. You can thank City Council for that when they put it in the budget, but we're going to do that. And that's really all I have to say. Thank you for all you're doing. We're really supportive. We think that a rising tide lifts all boats, and we're excited to see this happen, not just for us, but also for the neighborhood of Eastmore. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. That really is exciting. That is real partnership. Do you have anything to add? Do you have anything to add to the Mayor's comments?
No, thank you.
Next, we have Mr. John Hamlin.
Thank you, Herb. Thank you. I'm president of the Eastmore Civic Association and have been for the last 3 years, and I see there's a lot of our board members here this evening, and we're very much in support of this, so much so to the fact that we voted as a board to contribute $5,000 to Herb to use as expenditures for items that they felt they needed, Lindsay being one of it, other type of expenditures. We did this out of the money that we raised through our own efforts because we find it so important that we go ahead and shine a light on our neighborhood. We have to remember that crime starts at a street level when it's dark. And in this type of thing, we're giving crime sort of, and a lot of misdemeanor crime, a push away. And we're making it safer for us, and we're making our neighborhood prettier, and the beautification of our neighborhood. This is very important. There are folks that, quite frankly, probably aren't thrilled with this. I want to thank the business owners who said yes. I want to thank Herb. I want to thank the board of the Eastmore Civic Association. And Councilman, I want you to know this is very important to our neighborhood, not only from Bexley, but all the way down to Whitehall, to improve the continuity and the beauty of our neighborhood, to make our neighborhood safe, and to ensure that we continue to grow. It is an important project, and I'm very thankful that we were able to get to this far, and we look forward to the City Council's support for this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, we have Ms. Kay Barnes.
Good evening, Councilman and Director, and all of you here. I am Quay Barnes, and I'm the president of the Mideast Area Community Collaborative, which is a lot of words for saying that it's an organization that covers all the civic associations and block watches between Bexley and Whitehall, near the airport and all the way down to Refugee Road. There are 16 organizations, and we're here to stand with Herb. We've been standing with him for a long time. In fact, we've been Main Street, starting from Motel 1, 10, 11 long years of coming together and picketing and going down to council and doing it. This is a joy, is what I'm trying to say. A lot of effort. And we thank the businesses, but I also would like to take a moment to thank all the residents, the many hundreds of residents over the 10 years that have worked for this street. And we want to thank all of them and all of you, and we appreciate the efforts that the city will make in behalf of that. And the fact that Herb has done this on Main Street, of course, means that, because I'm greedy, I want it on Hamilton Road, and I want it on Livingston Avenue too. So Herb has set the standard, and he's shown us how to do it, and we'll be talking to him too, to increase this in our neighborhoods. Thank you.
Next, we have Ms. Lindsay Cullums.
Hi, everyone. As Herb said, I'm Lindsay, and I am a little bit tired right now, so I apologize if I fall asleep while I'm standing up. I just want to say that I feel so lucky to have had the opportunity to work on this project. I think that this is a really unique, hopefully, future SID. There's so much, as you can see by everyone being here tonight, there's so much neighborhood support of this. I think out of all the SIDs in the city of Columbus, this developing SID is probably the most community and neighborhood oriented, just in terms of how involved everyone on the east side and in Bexley has been throughout the process. I think the level of support is just outstanding for this, and I think it deserves to be recognized. So thank you, Herb, and thank you everyone who's worked on this project for letting me learn from you and work with you. And I really hope to see this SID flourish and lead to some great changes in the next few years. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to speak for somebody.
Okay. Next, second to last speaker is Ms. Powell. Is that Patricia Powell? Yes.
Good evening and thank you. I just want to let you know, Herb, I really appreciate, I had heard about you. I met you. And after I heard all that you have been doing, I just had to be here. And I want to thank you. I moved on South Wyatt 27 years ago. And of course, Main Street is just not what it used to be. But I know that a lot of work went into getting to where we are now. And I just wanted to say that I am highly supportive of this project. And I hope everyone else is. But I also want to caution you and talk to Mr. Hardin. I did work with Jazza. I worked with Mark Ruckus. I've worked with some people down in the development department. I am over Mayfair Peacekeepers at the moment. Lynn LaCour asked me to come in and help, but I worked a long time ago with Peacekeepers. But I just wanted to say This is a wonderful neighborhood, and I just want to see it get back to where it was. We have, I'm trying to think. We have a problem with the street itself. And I have talked to everybody downtown trying to figure out what we're going to do with the tire factory up there. So safety and beautification is really important, but it's going to take time to work on it. I also wanted you to know that the gentleman that owned Motel 1 has property 1 block from my house. Now, whether he's living in it or not, I haven't gotten any information on that yet. But we've had trouble with him with his trash in the alleys and things like that. So we definitely going to have to work on that. So we will have problems, but this is really going to help. So please support.
And our last speaker is our own Mr. Herb Taliber, speaking on behalf of David Auerstein in absentia, I guess.
Yes. David Ornstein, who is a property owner on the street, can't make it because he's on spring vacation, or his family is. But he asked me to make a statement for him. So I'll just read this. I am sorry I'm unable to attend the Columbus Council meeting regarding the East Main Street Special Improvement District. Our family had prior vacation plans. I do want to share my support for this SID. Myself and my fellow property owners are quite excited at the thought of better protecting our neighborhood and investments in our properties. This should benefit the neighborhood as a whole, both literally and figuratively cleaning up the area. Thank you for your support, and feel free to contact me should you have any questions. A special thank you to Herb Taliber and Lindsay Cullums for all their hard work and support of this valuable project. David Ornstein. He's the owner of Pfeiffer Ornstein Insurance Agency that's just down the street. I just would like to say one other thing, that there are several property owners here, and I don't think any of the property owners have spoken. So could the property owners just stand up so we know who you are? Ed Babcock from Murray's Tools, David Levy. There's Patels who own the motels back there. So I really appreciate your coming tonight and your support for this project.
Well, thank you so much. I think that's a good segue into, I'm going to be excited to support this legislation. I'm going to introduce the East Main Street SID legislation this upcoming Monday at Council, and we'll move the ordinance for passage at the following council meeting on April 3rd, per engagement by my colleagues on council. So I would encourage folks to come down and continue to support. I'm sure that we'll look forward to talking to my colleagues about this. They've heard the good news about what's happening on Main Street. They've probably heard from Herb too about this process, and so we're excited to take it up. I want to thank again Mark, you director, for the work that you've done. Certainly to Herb for not just tonight but for the years of engagement. Certainly want to thank CTV for helping us to broadcast this. Tonight's hearing will be made available online. And want to thank my staff, Zach Davidson and Ms. Linda Capobianco, for helping us get the word out. Certainly, I'm going to shout out Officer Gary Scott, the community liaison officer for this area. As we heard, safety is a huge issue, but also our opportunity if we work together. And we appreciate the work that you've been doing out here. And then I also saw the neighborhood liaison here, Ms. Lynn LaCour. Thank you so much for all the work that you're doing. Yeah, thank you. Certainly want to thank again Epstein Chapel for hosting us. Thank you for allowing all of us to keep you out late this evening. We greatly appreciate it. And then finally, thank you all for being here. Again, you showing up shows the commitment to this process, but to this neighborhood. And for that, we say thank you. City Council is behind you. And like I said, I look forward to introducing this legislation on Monday. With that, that concludes this hearing. Thank you.